Welcome back to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today we're examining a subtle but powerful concept that shapes outcomes in ways we often fail to recognize: the tyranny of small decisions. The tyranny of small decisions describes how a series of small, seemingly insignificant choices can collectively result in an outcome that no one would have chosen directly. Coined by economist Alfred E. Kahn in 1906, this concept explains how incremental decisions, each rational in isolation, can accumulate to create large-scale problems or suboptimal situations that would have been rejected if presented as a single choice. It's like watching a ship gradually drift off course through tiny navigational adjustments, eventually arriving at a destination that no one actually intended to reach. Historically, we can see the tyranny of small decisions illustrated in the disappearance of passenger rail service in mid-20th century America. No single policy decision eliminated America's once extensive passenger rail network. Instead, thousands of separate decisions, each logical in isolation, collectively transformed transportation. Individual consumers chose the flexibility of automobiles. Local governments invested in roads rather than rail maintenance. Railroad companies prioritized more profitable freight over passengers. Federal policies subsidized highways and airports while neglecting railways. Each decision made sense to the decision-makers involved, yet the cumulative effect was the near elimination of passenger rail service by the 1970s, an outcome that required creating Amtrak as a government-supported entity to preserve what remained. Had Americans been asked directly, should we eliminate most passenger rail service? Many might have opposed such a sweeping change. It's like watching a treasured historic building deteriorate not through a decision to demolish it, but through countless small decisions to postpone maintenance until restoration becomes nearly impossible. In today's business landscape, consider Canva, the graphic design platform. Canva faced the tyranny of small decisions as their product evolved. Initially offering a streamlined design experience, each product team independently added new features to serve their specific user segments. Each addition made sense in isolation: photo editing for marketing teams, animation features for social media creators, collaboration tools for agencies. However, as these features accumulated, the platform risked becoming cluttered and intimidating to new users, contradicting the simplicity that drove its initial success. Recognizing this pattern, Canva implemented a comprehensive product governance framework, requiring teams to justify how new features would integrate into the overall experience without adding complexity. They introduced progressive disclosure of advanced features and personalized user experiences that show only relevant tools based on user behavior. It's like a restaurant that carefully curates its menu expansions, ensuring that adding new dishes doesn't create a confusing dining experience that drives away the customers who appreciated its original simplicity. So, how can we apply the concept of the tyranny of small decisions in our daily lives? Firstly, regularly zoom out to evaluate cumulative effects. In personal finance, health habits, or time management, set aside time to assess whether your incremental choices align with your larger goals. For example, examine whether your series of just this once food choices have collectively undermined your nutrition goals. It's like periodically climbing to a high vantage point on a hike to ensure your series of small path choices hasn't led you far off your intended route. Secondly, create decision rules or policies for recurring small choices. Rather than depleting willpower by making each small decision from scratch, establish personal policies like "I don't check email before 10 a.m. or "I automatically save 15% of any unexpected income." These guardrails help ensure your small decisions align with larger intentions. It's like installing a sprinkler system with a timer, rather than deciding each day whether to water your garden, removing the tyranny of daily decisions that might collectively leave your plants parched. Lastly, conduct pre-mortems for important goals, imagining what series of small decisions might lead to failure. By anticipating how incremental choices could accumulate to derail your objectives, you can establish safeguards against the most dangerous decision patterns. It's like identifying the small leaks that could eventually sink your ship, then proactively patching them before setting sail. In conclusion, the tyranny of small decisions reminds us that large-scale outcomes often emerge not from grand pronouncements, but from the accumulation of minor choices. By developing awareness of how incremental decisions aggregate, creating systems to align small choices with larger values, and periodically assessing cumulative impacts, we can avoid unintended consequences and ensure our series of small decisions leads to destinations we actually want to reach. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your small decisions align with your big intentions. Your incremental choices create positive accumulations, and your awareness of collective impacts guide your daily decisions. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by thepodcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/free music.